I got your wig, ho. Ha ha. You're mad. Miss Wikiana. Miss Wikiana.
Sit next to each other. Y'all didn't want to sit next to each other. Y'all refused to sit next to each other on the bus.
There's probably no point of return with this one because
Really?
we got in an argument. It was very nasty on the plane.
Okay. Yes.
It was very embarrassing.
I witnessed. I mean, y'all aren't even speaking.
And it's not okay.
What I'm not okay with is her thinking that she can take jabs at me and I can't reciprocate. That's where I draw the line.
Our friendship doesn't matter to you. And I have vouched for you for the past how long with these women? No cancer versus cancer. Ooh. I stood the up and told these bitches to sit down.
One of the other things that we saw in episode 1 was the reaction to Mia's post. All right, then we gotta
Which one?
Your post about how you were feeling with your health and the cancer scare. Now that you've seen it, do you understand why there was some confusion around like what was going on?
Sure, I can see that, right? I mean, I did originally post something and then I had to go back and I changed it because I really quickly noticed that everybody thought that I said I had cancer, which I do not, thank God. And I am well, I'm alive, and I feel good. But I'm still, going through a lot, and I'm still in testing, and whatever's going on with me, I will prayerfully be healed.
You will.
And I'm gonna work through that, and you guys get to see that. But at the same time, just don't question it. If you have questions, come to me. One of the things that I can't stand is like saying something behind someone's back, but you can't say it to my face.
Mia, you know how the show works, right?
Mia!
But listen,
Mia!
I said it to your face.
no, you.
That's what we do.
I didn't talk behind your back. I said it to your
You
face.
live down the street, honey. You could have came over to my house and said, "Baby cakes, what's going
Mia,
on with your
but that was
pal?"
part of what we talked about later. But we're gonna let
talk
the
about
people see
later.
it.
But also, a lot of us did reach out to you, Mia. And
Yeah, we all
asked.
did.
All of us reached out to you.
All of us reached out to you.
Everybody reached out to me, and I thank you for that. Thank you, ladies. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, you should have told us because I was literally
Mia,
crying my
I
eyes
not
out
only
about
reached
you.
out,
Yeah.
I came over and I fed your family. So I want you to know while the girls, let's be very clear.
Don't get shady with my family.
No, let's talk
I
about
wouldn't
it
do that
though.
to
The
you, so
cameras
don't do
weren't
that to
rolling.
me,
We
Karen
were
Cooper.
friends. But I came over and I checked on you from my heart, and I fed your children and I spent time with you.
But did you come to feed my children so you can go back and tell everybody that you came to feed my children?
No, but I would think that if you are having a health scare and I have been a true friend to you, that you would say, look,
Because when I
Karen
do something
rode
for
with
somebody,
me.
I don't go
Karen
back
was
and tell
there
them that
with
I
me
did it to get
to the
kudos.
extent that I could be. So I was going to say this, though. I'm not hung up on that, okay? I do what I do, not for the cameras, but because I'm real. Ooh. So the girls genuinely had questions, and you and I had actually talked. We were in a good place at that time. I think we'll see where we end up later. And I'm hopeful that it will be in a good place. But their questions, I shared with you in advance that they had questioned you. And hold on. I'm just thinking that while I didn't agree with, your channel of communication, I supported you, and I never questioned once anything about your illness. I just asked you, what could I do to help you?
Right, you
Thank
did
you.
it. But
that for the record.
it's my social media page, so I can post whatever I want to. So I still feel like, you don't question certain things. I never question her post about having like ADD, ADHD, whatever it is that you have. I didn't question it. I just said, hey, baby, I appreciate it.
Your post was questionable. It raised questions. We were confused.
That's a fair statement.
When there's nothing confusing, there's nothing to be questioned, but we were confused.
I don't want her to be my peasant, and I don't want her to feel beneath me.
Okay.
I think that there's just a lot of things going on in my life personally during this time of filming.
Did you feel unsupported by her?
I definitely felt supported by Jacqueline. I just became overwhelmed because of all of the support that you needed.
Okay, so let me clear this up. So let's go and talk about my sister.
You want me to take these videos down, bitch? Is that what you said today? That's what you said? Well, then I want you to publicly apologize to Jacqueline, to Jackie. That's what you need to do. Get your lips up moving. You need to get your lips moving out, Reese, out.
My sister was my nanny initially. I knew that you didn't have that type of support from your family. So that's when I said, okay, let me get my sister to possibly nanny for you. So when you saying that you're giving me all this support, I literally gave you my sister.
You need to publicly apologize to Jackie. The scale is unbalanced. What you did to my sister, we're not even talking about how you defamed my character, bitch. Okay? I'm cool with that. I just had a gig this week. That ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing with that. Because Tita's always going to get work, bitch. That has never, let me get some visuals. That has never been a problem or an issue. Never been an issue. Because one thing's for two and two things for certain. One thing's for sure and two things for certain. It's always, people are always going to need daycare. Somebody always going to need a babysitter. Somebody always going to need their house clean. Somebody always going to need a nanny. Huh? That, I don't even worry about that. Huh? Huh? See, right now I'm just chilling. I ain't really even, because of that situation that happened, I'm just chilling.
Definitely, we wish that this didn't have to be played out on television because we do argue and we do fight and we probably said worse things to each other.
Her face said that, you know what, Wendy? You got one more time. Imagine a woman throwing a drink on another woman for not calling a man. No. What type of woman does that? Look at you. Look at the CEO. Oh, look at the CEO. Look at the CEO. Oh, look at the CEO. That's why you getting up. You gonna throw another? Well, in Maryland, what the hell? Like you embarrassed yourself. You embarrassed your whole business. Really?
Well, I don't know because I mean, let's be clear. Wendy's jealous of you.
I don't owe him that. I don't owe him anything. Because there's no feelings in business, sweetie. Maybe you talk to other men like that, but I don't do. I sit at a boardroom table with all men.
When I met my husband, I had been receiving chiropractic care for years. So when we were introduced to the joint model, it was a no-brainer for us. We soon became owners in the North Carolina and Virginia markets. And now we are the regional developers for DC and Maryland as well.
Black female at the boardroom table.
Girl, I'm the only black female that's a professor at Johns Hopkins, and I'm the youngest professor at Johns Hopkins.
Hi, I'm Wendy Osefo. I am a visiting assistant professor at the School of Education.
So don't tell me how to be a boss because I am a boss. You understand that?
Wendy Osefo is an education professor at Johns Hopkins University, and she's a doctor. So Dr. Wendy, we are going to start with you.
Wendy Osefo is the definition of an accomplished woman, a professor, political analyst, and entrepreneur. She made headlines for earning her PhD in public affairs and community development from Rutgers University, the first black woman to do it in the university's history.
I think I poorly delivered the message that I was trying to deliver. I was talking business. She wanted to talk about threesomes. It's like, no,
you took it to a whole nother level when you threw the drink, and then she responded.
Are you just saying that because you want to?
We gotta stop with these lies. Y'all can't just say whatever you want because you ain't got nothing else to talk about.
She had dinner with him before filming.
I was talking shit about my food. Look at the plate, y'all. Something once was in that plate. What you saying now?
It was good.
Oh, really?
It was good. The snapper was good.
Yeah.
It was crispy.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. And they had a whole entree, and I heard all about it. And it was after hours.
From whom?
In Bar One.
Who told
Baltimore.
you this?
I saw the cameras.
She saw the cameras.
Did they have the cookie for dinner?
Somebody just sent me a clip. You know, I'm going through a lot of shit right now. But somebody just sent me a clip from the Potomac Housewife reunion show. And Mia is going at it with Wendy. And, brother, this is kind of your fault. Because I taped with y'all for 5 minutes promoting Bar One Baltimore and Bar One Miami Beach. And you turned that 5 minutes into 9 episodes. And now my name is thrown around on a reunion show when in real life, I don't mess with none of those women. Okay? Giselle, Robin, cool people. The rest of them, Wendy, I shot with her one time, 5 minutes. Didn't go out to dinner with her. I didn't have no late night snack with her. She's a married woman. She's very respectful, very honorable. Okay, so for me, for you to be talking about me and me and Wendy getting together is so disrespectful. And it's so thirsty. It's real thirsty for you to do that just to collect that check from Bravo. There's nothing cool about that. Okay? And you can't just use my name like that, because if you use my name like that, I'm going to have my lawyer get in touch with you guys, and it's going to be really ugly. Okay? Because I do not know any of those women. I never see them outside of my establishment. Okay? And y'all just can't recklessly just throw people's name out there like that, because it actually hurt my business. And that's irresponsible. Please, cease and desist.
No, she gave him the cookie allegedly. The cookie.
I understand.
You're for lobsters.
I'm not denying it.
And it's fine. You're for lobsters. Yeah. We don't all do that.
Oh my God.
You know, it's interesting to me that who I thought was my friend, Peter Thomas, can say things like, he doesn't know us like that. I wonder if he didn't know us like that the times when he'd been at our house, eating our food, playing card games, and associating with other people, family members and friends of ours. I guess he didn't know us like that when he held our baby girl and was the first man other than myself to hold our baby girl. I guess he didn't know us like that when he's gone on boat rides with us. I guess he didn't know us like that all the times that we spent at his restaurant supporting his business. And certainly I guess he didn't know us like that when he wanted to borrow $60,000 to pay his bills at Bar One. So I don't know why Peter says he don't know us like that. Maybe that's his definition of not knowing us like that. Not knowing us like that when he's attended our kids' parties. So I guess if that means not knowing someone, then I guess that's what Peter's meaning is. And furthermore, to say this has hurt his business, just a few days ago, I personally spoke to Peter and he said the publicity is actually helping his business. And furthermore, the allegations that he's referencing only came out a couple of days ago, so how could it have hurt his business that quickly? Peter, I guess we don't know you like that.
Mia, I didn't understand why you threw a drink at Wendy. She didn't really say anything bad about your husband.
Imagine a woman throwing a drink on another woman for not calling a man.
No.
What type of woman does that?
So the way that I remember it, Andy, there was a lot of things that were said. Like she just kept just coming at and just spitting things out that had absolutely nothing to do with what I was trying to talk about.
But that's not true.
And I'm talking to Andy. And I had enough.
I have been diagnosed with a mental illness, bipolar 1.
So for instance, again, in the middle of an episode of either mania or depression, people who are manic will often do things that are really impulsive and really out of character. And so issues of infidelity can come up, for instance, in a patient with mania who's having a sexual partner or sexual partners outside of the relationship in the midst of a manic episode. People will often spend money that they really can't afford to spend in the midst of a manic episode, which you can imagine will cause a lot of strain for them personally, but also in the context of their families. People in the midst of mania often don't appear to be logical, and so they will go to work and will have lots of irritability. And you can imagine, again, that coworkers are confused, bosses are confused, and especially if they don't understand a lot about the illness, it can affect their work relationships and their ability to maintain their employment. You can imagine that if it's hard to get up out of bed and even go to the supermarket and get your groceries for the day, that it can be very difficult to go to work and get all the things that you need to get done, either in your work life or in your personal life. People will report guilt or sometimes feeling like they're worthless. People will also report that they feel like they're either kind of moving in slow motion, which is known as psychomotor retardation, and occasionally people will report that they actually feel jittery, which is known as psychomotor agitation. In addition, people will report disturbances in their sleep, which are most commonly insomnia. So either difficulty falling asleep, waking up in the middle of the night, or waking up earlier in the morning than one intends to. Occasionally this can be hypersomnia though, where people are sleeping, for instance, 10, 12, 13, 14 or more hours per day. Patients with bipolar disorder often are resistant to receiving treatment, especially during a manic episode. And this is really part of the illness in terms of not understanding that one is sick. Bipolar disorder cannot be cured. However, people will often find that they will go periods of time without having any illness or periods of euthymia. It really depends on the individual. and how their clinical course goes, as well as finding treatments that work. The mainstay of treatments are mood stabilizers. So these are medications that are used to keep somebody from having, most notably, a manic episode or a depressive episode. Finding the right treatment can sometimes be a little frustrating, and patients really need to hang in there as their doctors try different medications to figure out what works best with their neurobiology. In order to support a loved one who has bipolar disorder, it's really important to realize that this is an illness like any other illness. A lot of times people will think of mental illnesses as being something that's within the control of the individual. And the individual will often think that as well, feeling tremendous guilt when they do have episodes of either mania or depression. And so the first thing is realizing that people don't choose to have bipolar disorder, and they would definitely choose to live with more mental wellness than having this illness. It's really important to be calm, present, and consistent with people with bipolar disorder, as well as supporting them and maintaining their treatment. In the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years, I really see a lot more research being done to try to find treatments that are effective and have less side effects than some of the medications that we have currently available today.
And the difference between bipolar and bipolar 1 is really the degree of manic.
Okay.
I know there's going to come a time when I probably won't be able to satisfy all your needs. I want you to know that I am okay with you finding what you need elsewhere. I only have two rules. One is, don't give me a reason to look for it. Secondly, keep the kids out of it. As long as you'll do that, I'm fine. Now, what really aggravates me through all of this is that I've given her permission, but yet she still chooses to sneak around, chooses to lie, chooses to continually change her story about what's going on and why she's leaving me and this, that, and the other, and actually not even telling me why. What she's told me, well, she's told me that this guy's her soulmate. I said, well, dang, you can have the best of both worlds. I've said you can see someone, just don't make it public. Be careful and don't involve the kids. Well, she still was still sneaking around and thinking I didn't know. I mean, I see the phone records. I pay the phone bills. My name's on the account. I see. And I see the calls at 2 o'clock in the morning and the times when I'm away from home and all those kinds of things. So I knew what was going on. But, you know, she made the choice, I guess, to choose him over me. I do agree that Mia married me for my money and the future that she thought I could provide. Yeah, I absolutely believe her leaving me now is tied to the fact that I don't have access to assets and my funds are limited at this point in time, that she now has access to funds. And this guy that she's seeing, she believes has access to funds. And I think she's leaving me for that reason. She's mentioned that they're going to be buying a house together and doing businesses together and other kinds of things together, which tells me that the interest is based on monetary gain from the relationship. So I absolutely believe that she's leaving me because she sees an upgrade. My desire is to never, ever, ever be associated with her again beyond our co-parenting situation. If we end up getting back together, it would only truly be for some advantage it would give the kids. It wouldn't be for love on my part, because right now I can't trust her. I don't believe what she says. I don't believe that she loves me.
And then during this whole time, were you in touch with Mr. Inc?
So we have kept in touch here and there, but nothing serious. There was only one occasion that we did rekindle the flame.
The kids
he
told
wasn't
me.
even there half the time. He worked
the kids
in
would tell
17
me.
different cities.
They even told me you were
always on the
sleeping with him when
road.
you said you weren't.
No,
Jeremiah said, I saw
Gordon,
mommy sleeping with
Gordon.
Mr. Inc.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about and your history?
Okay, first he doesn't want to be called. We can start there. His name is Ink.
How long were you guys in a relationship?
I met Mia, I knew Mia about what it was, probably about three and a half years.
And then did y'all break up because the relationship got to be long distance?
Yeah, that would pretty much be it. Because for me, like I said, I wanted to further my career, and just for her, it didn't make sense for her to go backwards. So we stayed in contact, and then she ended up getting married the first time, and then she ended up getting married again.
Did you guys keep in touch while she had her first marriage?
No, we always been very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always just kept in touch, like friendship, and then when social media came around, you follow each other on social media. What we had back then, like when Twitter first came out, maybe Twitter. What you had, Facebook. What's another? I'm trying to think another one.
MySpace.
I don't think Mia ever had a MySpace, bro. And if she did, I hope I was in the top 8. Yeah.
So take me back to you guys were in this relationship. Y'all moved to Charlotte together.
Yes.
Then you guys broke up.
Yes.
She got married.
Yes.
Then remarried, and she now is married still to Gordon.
Yes.
Right?
True.
Have you met Gordon?
Yes. We've actually hung out a few times.
Y'all hung out a few times while she and Gordon were married in a happy place?
No. This is post-separation. Like, since they've been separated, I've met him and had conversations with him, and we talked.
I had a prostate cancer. My organs weren't working like they used to. On my 70th birthday, I said, if you find someone that you think you want to start spending time with, I want you to know I'm okay with it.
Why does Ink think Jeremiah is his son?
Because we had an affair shortly
overlapping.
after. Yeah, there was a little overlap in there. Now, here's the thing. I did IUI, right? So, and I'm a woman. I know my body.
Right.
This child is Gordon's child.
He looks just like Gordon.
Yeah.
But then why does Ink still think it's his kid?
Maybe he wants him to be his kid.
I have 3 children, and there are several fathers.
Okay.
I love Gordon a lot, and he needs to lean on me. And he is actually leaning on Ink and I.
Oh. So you don't feel like I gave everything?
I feel like you gave a lot, but I don't think you went the last step.
What's the last step?
The last step is just separate and not run to someone else.
Ink is most definitely been a pivotal part. Gordon, when he left one weekend, he left his dirty laundry. And I washed it for him, and Ink did fold it, and we took it to his apartment. We're trying to work it out. I'm trying to reel him in, and we need to work together as a family. We have these beautiful babies that we're raising, and being a mom is number 1 for me. And I'm very proud to hold that title of being super mom. And we have happy kids. I want them to stay happy.
Because like you said, you're really focusing on keeping the kids happy, keeping everything as normal as it can be. How is that navigation going between you two right now?
Yeah, so actually it's going well. It is now. And hopefully it stays that way. Okay. And I don't keep the kids away from Gordon. I do want him to be a huge part of their lives. I do want them to remain the kids' hero. That's their dad. And so when I told him, I said, hey, if you don't get with the program, then you're going to put me in a position to where, you're not going to see your kids. So pick a side. And since
so
then,
he got with the program?
He got with the program. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
that's
in business.
good to know.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen, I feel a certain way about G. And when G shared with the world that your children had seen you in bed with another man, and the fact that your babies were plastered all over the news.
I didn't plaster my babies on the gram. Like, their father did. You just sit here and pretend like it's like my fault.
No, darling, I'm not pretending. I'm asking a question because this is concerning to me as well.
And you're sitting here trying to pretend like it's my fault that he did that? No.
But Mia, you didn't protect your kids at all costs. You did. Because if you did, you would not have mixed Ink with Gordon.
Why does Ink think Jeremiah is his son?
Because we had an affair shortly
overlapping.
after. Yeah, there was a little overlap in there.
You know how good of a mother you are. I know. You know that. So let anybody tell you different.
At the core of this group, we're all mothers. I just think that was a lot.
I'm not saying that she's not a good mother.
That's how it came off.
It was not my intention.
Y'all, there's so much going on with Gordon right now. He's in mania. Gordon, can we have a conversation about telling the kids?
I'm not doing it. I've already said several times not being on camera with.
Felt like I missed something.
No, this has nothing to do with you. This is between her and I. I told Mia that I'm not filming with you.
This is fucking dead wrong. Last season, it was a question of your child's paternity on national television. So he has to see this when he grows up. I'm talking about your child. I'm not trying to call you a bad mother, but like, girl.
Gordon and Ink kind of got into it. And Gordon, I don't want to cry about it.
When you and I and her are together with the kids, I'm going to be very cordial, have a good time. Without the kids, I'm not interested.
Gordon.
Whether
So
a
why
camera is here, why are you pushing to be on?
I'm not pushing to do anything. What I'm doing is supporting my lady.
But he was like, you're an adulterer. She had an abortion by you.
When I look at him, I see a person that had adultery with my wife. I also see a person who's trying to separate my family.
No,
that's what I see when I look at him. That's not what she said.
Time out.
That's not what she said.
You guys are already in an inspired situation.
How about when you had an affair with my wife shortly after we got married? She got pregnant and had an abortion because of you.
But Gordon, okay.
Well, no, is that a fact?
This my first time hearing that.
Like, this shit is weird. I don't know if y'all are doing this for clicks and views and coins and so on, but I don't like it. It doesn't give me authentic. It gives me elder abuse, what you guys are doing to G. And I don't like it. Okay, I guess it can't be elder abuse if G is in on the antics, but I feel like he's not in on the antics, and Miss Ink and Mia are playing game on Mr. G, and I feel bad for him, which is now causing it to be elder abuse. I'm playing. It's not elder abuse, and I don't want to take away from those stories of people who are elderly and actually are getting abused. I'm just saying, like, y'all know he's going through it mentally.
And we appreciate how open you are, baby. You know, I know it's not easy, you know. But
You doing okay? Yes, I'm good. Thank you, baby.
If I could talk to Mia for a second.
Yes.
Because at GNA, you shared a lot of personal, sensitive things with us.
But he was like, you're an adulterer. She had an abortion by you. Before GNA,
Okay.
Gordon and Ink went on a rampage against each other.
What changed in the
In those
24
hours?
So,
But you think Jeremiah's your kid?
you guys,
Yeah, I told you that. Yeah.
listen, Gordon.
No, did you have two
and I
affairs
have
with my
already-
wife at least?
But listen,
Stop.
why?
Did you have two affairs with my wife at least?
Understand the circumstances, Gordon, and you and I
Circumstances
talked
doesn't
about
matter.
it.
It
No,
either
it
is or
does
isn't.
matter, Gordon,
Okay.
because you were going through something. I had no idea what you were going through.
Was there
And
adultery committed?
I was willing
Was there
to try
adultery
to
committed?
make it work and
They're not
stand
answering
by
the
your
question.
The point I was talking about earlier. I'm not trying to play you, Miss Mia, and say that you are a bad mother, but it doesn't look like you are trying to protect your kids when you are making this a storyline or making them a storyline. When you are questioning who their father is, you did that last season, and I believe in a preview I saw for this season, you're doing it again. So do you really give a fuck if you are making your child part of your storyline in a negative way? So when he gets older, or even now, can go online and read all of what's going on. He already walked in on you and Mr. Ink, who is not his father, but Mr. Ink somehow believes he is the father, even though you did like a sperm inseminate, whatever the fuck y'all do. Sperm in there and then inseminate. That's what they call it? Yeah. Or did they have a, what you call it? A surrogate. The words are not coming to my brain right now. I don't know what they did to have a child, but I don't know how Ink could think he is the child's father and why this is even a storyline to traumatize your child. But you think you're such a great mother. Again, I'm not trying to play you, even though I am shading you down. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I would be living it up for my mother doing this on national television and having a heart fake. Okay, I'm stopping.
Why do you make it like he's in a good space if he's not?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
What Jacqueline is basically saying is she's saying that, for lack of a better word, you're putting up a facade.
I'm like, bro, be mindful of them kids in the room. Like, we don't want them to hear that profanity.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody
And that's
even
the
using
issue that I
profanity.
have, because I have sheltered the kids because I don't want children to be privy to us figuring it out. The kids
don't even know that you and I are like an item.
I think basically right now, Mia was really trying to be the glue that holds us together, make it work for the kids, make it work for me, and still have your own piece of happiness.
Understandable.
But that's really a little bit irresponsible. We know that that's not feasible.
And yes, I'm sorry, I'm calling her a bad mother because this is tacky as fuck. If she ain't a bad mother, she a tacky as fuck ass mother. How about that? And I know I'm not a mother and I don't know what it takes to be a mother. I never have given birth and so on. But I am a child and I do have common sense in this bitch. And I know as a child, I wouldn't want my hard-faced mother on TV doing activities and antics such like this involving me. Yeah. Okay?
There's a whole lot of lies with Mia.
We all know Mia's a liar. Mia's been a liar since she came on the show.
And it's difficult to even have a conversation with someone that you know won't stop lying.
I know Mia lies. She embellishes the truth. If you ask her age right now, Mia won't know.
Mia just don't tell the truth.
That's our liar.
What do you make of them talking about you like that?
You know, so for the longest I thought it was cute. If your lives are so boring and you're so into what I have going on and it doesn't make sense for you, so I must be lying. I was like, okay, whatever. They just don't get it. You can't really expect people to understand what they've never experienced. But it's getting to a point now where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start inviting some more friends to the table so they can vouch for me because clearly that works out really well. I don't have a reason to lie about anything. Like, I'm very authentic, very true, very just... I'm going to give it to you. And I think that that's not necessarily the norm, but then again, there's something normal about me, and I want to stay that way.
Okay. Wendy is kind of, looks like she is about to roll her eyes, actually. Wendy?
I think that Mia does things for shock value.
You do?
Yes,
Yes.
1,000%.
Kids and I were trying to have a conversation about our relationship and things like that, so I'm actually glad that you're here now because maybe you can help navigate it. Yeah. Gordon, can we have a conversation about telling the kids?
I'm not doing it. I've already said several times not being on camera with.
Felt like I missed something.
No, this has nothing to do with you. This is between her and I. I told Mia that I'm not filming with you.
Okay. So I was explaining to Jeremiah that just because mommy and daddy are getting a divorce does not mean that we don't love them any less. We're always going to be a family.
When you and I and her are together with the kids, I'm going to be very cordial, have a good time. Without the kids, I'm not interested.
Gordon.
So it goes like this. Mommy and daddy sitting in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
I can't climb trees.
First comes love, then comes marriage. Then comes the baby in the baby carriage.
Okay, so listen. What's that?
Nothing.
Sometimes in marriage, people grow apart. In his mind, he still thinks that there is a chance. Yeah. You're right, it is a problem.
It's a problem.
This morning, he goes, I think we should get back together and just not be intimate. Do you think Eve will be okay with that?
Mia, no.
The only thing that is real to him is the part that he wants to believe, and that's that Mia and him could be something, and it still could be happening. You know what I mean? No, I agree.
But Mia, what if they get to the age when it's time for them to get married? How are they going to view life at that point in time? How are they going to view relationships? And if we don't help them understand what's going on and why, then maybe they'll end up repeating the same cycles I've repeated. Or you've repeated. You've been married twice now and moving on to beyond the number 2 to who knows what.
Ink is not the daddy. Because I don't want to be speaking on that or hearing that. And I'm like, who is the daddy?
So we're going to get a test. Okay. I personally don't think that Jeremiah is Ink's birth father.
You get what you get and you don't get upset.
Okay, all right.
Can I take the cookies out?
Ink is not here today.
No.
You recently announced that you've broken up. What happened?
So it's a lot.
You and Ink are not together.
No, we're not.
You are not together.
We're not.
Currently.
Currently. What happened?
You know, Ink
Tell him the truth, what you just told me when we were at commercial.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, obviously, anytime you're in a public relationship, there are outside influences.
Yeah.
And then also too, like when you're living life and you're going through the motions,
It's
you
one
think
thing.
it's one thing.
Yeah.
You know, you think you're making all the right decisions, but then to see it back, it's like I'm going about it all wrong, and I'm bothered by it.
So, Ink has worked really, really hard for his reputation and his career. He's 20 years in as a syndicated radio personality, and he feels as though this platform is not necessarily
beneficial.
it doesn't align with his brand.
I've worked so hard for my family. Like, I've been married for 11 years. My kids are amazing. I've worked really hard for everything that we have.
Yeah.
And just to see it all kind of like crumble down, it's hard.
But if a person says they love you, then he knew what came with you. He knew your career. He knew your occupation.
Correct.
So I'm not understanding why would he leave you because of it.
But and to his defense, I need to get a divorce first.
Well, girl, you was messing with him.
I know.
No, I'm just saying.
I need to get a divorce first.
Okay.
Every day is hard.
But your tagline is ink is permanent.
Yeah, well, Ink is my best friend,
Yeah.
And he is forever going to be a part of my life.
Yep.
I respect that. Now, he's my best friend, and he will forever be my best friend. And are we exclusive and are we dating? No. It has like bridged a gap between us two, which is fine.
Ink very much wanted to be on television. Like, he wanted more camera time. I do not believe they broke up. I think they're still together.
What do you predict for the future of Mia and Ink? And do you suspect they'll eventually get back together?
Mia and Ink. Okay, so I don't believe that they ever broke up. I think that they're still together. I think that it's very clear that Mia is aware of being trashed on social media as it relates to throwing Ink in front of Gordon and the whole triangle and the disaster and this disgustingness of it all. And yeah, they're still together. I think that they're still together. And I think that they just are, the world didn't like them being together and him being like this side piece.
The world?
Okay. Social media.
Okay.
So I think that they're just pretending not to be together so that she can kind of clean up her little act. Ink lives in Atlanta. Mia knows we're about to film again. Mia lives in Atlanta. She does not live in D.C., Maryland, or Virginia.
Why would you say that?
She doesn't live here.
Why would you say that?
Because you don't.
I haven't moved.
Mm-hmm.
Is your plan to immediately get engaged or marry Ink, and would Ink move to DC, or would you move to Atlanta?
Well, that's a loaded question. As far as DC, Maryland, North Carolina, don't forget.
Yes.
Houston is actually on the chatterbox of what we want to do next. I think, remember, I'm bicoastal.
Yes, I forgot.
And I'm syndicated, baby, okay? My man is now syndicated,
And he's not a
right?
DJ, yes.
He's not a DJ. He's a syndicated radio personality. He just picked up new markets. So hopefully he'll continue to grow and evolve in that space.
Every interview, you fly in for your interviews.
Lies. No, I've been here.
I've heard people that are on your plane as you're in the back, but people have told me.
I do fly in back and forth, yes.
No, you're in the back of the plane.
No, I live here. I have a condo here.
Mia, fine. If that's a lie you want to tell today.
It's not a lie.
We are looking to build in Georgia. Because I feel like it's time. And he, obviously, I'm not going to move into his home because that's a home that he built for his daughter's mother. And it's 6 bedrooms and I want 7 plus. So.
Well, where do your kids go to school?
My kids are in private homeschool.
So private homeschool they could do from wherever.
Anywhere in the world.
Atlanta.
They have gone to Atlanta, yes, but they don't go back and forth every time.
Okay, so
as of October,
your
they have
question
been
was,
here
what do we
because
think
a
of
court
Ink?
order.
And I gave my opinion about what I think of Ink.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I feel as though you had this plan of you and Ink orchestrated for this season. It backfired on you.
Do you think that people were coming from me as kids? Because she, just from watching these past few episodes and seeing how the topic got brought up about your kids are watching and you're living here in this building and your husband's here and you got your man here and the kids are in the midst of all of this. And people were weighing in on that. And for you as a mom, but you're in a great relationship, but just seeing her going through that, do you understand where she's coming from, or do you think, no, we were not attacking that, we were just saying be mindful?
At first blush, when I first heard it, I said to myself, I want to give her the benefit of a doubt, because my thought process is every mother will do everything in their power to protect their kids. However, as the season progressed and actions were taken, I have questions.
Okay.
I don't stand by the things that she does, as you guys will see it play out during this season. There are some things that I'm like, if your first priority is this, then you're not moving like that. So that's the honest to God truth. I defended her when we were all at the Hatitude party, because I was like, wait, hold up, we're all mothers here. What's going on? I want to give her a benefit of a doubt. But baby, when you start moving a certain type of way, I can't defend that. I can't.
Natalia from Queens wants to know, did you tell your kids about the divorce for the first time on camera?
So yeah, we had So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to a family counselor with the kids.
Yes.
But it didn't end up that way.
First comes love, then comes marriage. Then comes the baby in the baby carriage.
Okay, so listen. Sometimes in marriage, people grow apart. In his mind, he still thinks that there is a chance. Yeah. You're right, it is a problem.
It's a problem.
This morning, he goes, I think we should get back together and just not be intimate. Do you think Ink would be okay with that?
Mia, no.
The only thing that is real to him is the part that he wants to believe, and that's that Mia and him could be something, and it still could be happening. You know what I mean? No, I agree.
But Mia, what if they get to the age when it's time for them to get married? How are they going to view life at that point in time? How are they going to view relationships? And if we don't help them understand what's going on and why, then maybe they'll end up repeating the same cycles I've repeated. Or you've repeated. You've been married twice now and moving on to beyond the number 2 to who knows what.
Ink is not the daddy. Because I don't want to be speaking on that or hearing that. And I'm like, who is the daddy?
So we're going to get a test. Okay. I personally don't think that Jeremiah is Ink's birth father.
You get what you get and you don't get upset.
You were saying that I was a terrible mother.
You have acted like that this season, terrible mother, and I stand by that. No woman, no mother would put their child on a platform to discuss his paternity. No mother would do that. No mother.
The kids
he
told
wasn't
me.
even there half the time. He worked
the kids
in
would tell
17
me.
different cities.
They even told me you were
always on the
sleeping with him
road.
when you said you weren't. Jeremiah said, I saw
Gordon-
mommy sleeping with
Gordon.
Mr. Ink.
Mia. I'm going to take care of it, okay? We're going to handle it, okay?
Why is he doing this? I don't understand it. Why? I don't understand it. Not to answer. He didn't answer.
I think you're a big girl and you can handle yourself. But at this point, as your friend, my concern is your children.
Okay, so we're good. Okay. Let's just relax now. They're good.
Yeah, I feel like I just need a shot of tequila.
Yeah, let's have a shot. So Wendy got us some rum. Let's take a shot. Let's decompress. Yeah. It's amazing with the kids.
You do have full custody, right?
Yes, I have full custody.
So I've been in the same situation, and I showed up with the cops.
Okay.
I had them meet me where my child was, and it sent a clear message.
Okay, so they're there right now, and they've been there all day. Okay. We couldn't get in contact with Gordon. He wasn't answering his phone. We called and she didn't answer, so Mia's just kind of freaking out, having a panic attack, not knowing where they are.
I'm really tired of being under a microscope for what I do on my social media, and my life is really kind of wild and crazy.
Are you happy in your relationship still?
Yes. It's challenging, right? Because things
Right.
are playing out on television and emotions get involved. And as in any relationship, there's ups and downs. But, I am very happy and fortunate that Ink is in the chat and he is here.
And I just, hopefully as the season progresses, we can see more of what that looks like. And you can see how amazing he is.
Yeah.
He's really quite a great guy.
Sure.
And so I'm happy to see it.
Yeah.
And he is my best friend.
No, I
So.
mean, you could tell. Like, you could tell that the two of you have a really fun, playful, loving relationship, and that it goes back a lot of years.
Yes.
And he's been in your life for a while,
Yes.
and I'm sure that it's probably difficult for him at times being in this family dynamic.
Yep.
What does that look like now? What does co-parenting with Gordon look like? What does the family dynamic look like?
We are actually doing a really good job.
Okay, good.
And, the kids are happy, and Gordon is still very much so in my building.
Okay.
And
still coming over for coffee?
Yes. Still, I'm like, okay. And I'm okay with it. Like,
Okay.
as long as there's no negativity around it. I don't like negative things. Like, I'm a peace girl, contrary to probably.
Sure.
I really do like peace.
Yeah.
And as long as you're coming with good energy, then you are always welcome in my corner suite. Okay?
Right.
But the moment that it's anything different and you try to control what's going on in my corner suite, you have got to 86 get out.
Yeah, right. Has he been trying to do that at all, or has he kind of respected your boundaries?
No, he's been respecting my boundaries.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but that's
is
also
good.
because he's dating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I think that, he's now distracted and he has his attention on someone else, which is great.
That's great.
I'm like, pass the torch, honey, clock in. It's time for you to clock in, okay?
Yes.
And it works out well. The
Okay.
kids love her.
Oh, good. Do you like her?
I do. I
Okay.
think that she's a good addition to our family.
Nice.
She's a good team member.
Okay, good.
And so hopefully she'll stick around for a
All
while.
right, that's great. And what is Gordon's relationship like with Ink now? Are they...
So they haven't seen each other.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I purposely have, like, when Ink is in town, I'm just like, you know what?
Still doing the Airbnbs?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay.
I actually just revoked his access to my floor.
Oh, okay.
So Gordon can't come to my floor.
Got it. All right.
And that's been a really great boundary because now I take, like, the back service elevator, so I never run into him.
Got it. Okay.
And we don't see him.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
And then Ink comes a lot of times when, like, Gordon's out of town.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a better job of just kind of being mindful of his feelings.
Okay. And
Which
how...
I don't know how long I'm going to be doing that.
Right.
But for now, that's what's working.
Right. Do you see yourself moving out of that building eventually, or do you think that you'll stay
I would
because
prefer
the
for
kids
Gordon to move out because I don't want to move anymore.
Sure. Yeah. You're like, I'm settled.
I want to stay here.
Yeah.
I want to bring a designer in.
Okay.
I want to do the things.
Yes.
Just leave me, let me be in peace for a little bit. Let the kids be settled for a while. There's a building across the street that's really nice. It has great amenities. Gordon should probably transfer over there.
You're like always sending him
Great
the
amenities.
listings.
Indoor pool,
That's
indoor
nice.
bowling alley.
Right. We can wave from
indoor
across the
basketball
building.
court. Like, I can come and take advantage of. Like, I can come over there.
Sure,
There now. You
yeah.
know? So I just think that it would be better.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit more
Sure.
separation, but
Yeah.
I do like that Gordon is near for the kids' sake.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I know at the finale last season was explosive. The
Oh my
reunion,
gosh.
everything. Are you still giving money to Gordon? Like, when it comes to like
So,
finances and things like that?
We have sold our business.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good.
And he has taken his equity and I have taken mine.
Okay.
And it is working out really great.
That's great.
Yes.
So pretty much
And
the only ties that
I
you have now are your kids.
The only ties now that we have are our children.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's working out fantastic.
It's working out fantastic.
I'm like, yes, finally.
Yeah.
So I do have to help him sometimes because he doesn't have like access to logins and passwords. But I'm like, here, do it. It's yours. Like, have at it. Like, and I think that that also too has helped Gordon because, men are very, they want to feel like they're in control of something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, just because our marriage isn't working out and I tried time and time after again, I do want you to be successful.
Yeah.
I do want you to go on and do the things.
Sure.
I want you to find happiness. I want you to allow me to do the same.
Yeah,
okay?
right? Yeah.
And we can live fruitful lives
Yeah.
and continue to be good parents for our children. And, and that's where we are right now and it feels great.
That's good.
That's that's it. The truth hurts, I guess. I mean,
Not my kids.
It is
No,
what
I
it
just
is.
don't get it. I don't do people doing and not being able to be accountable for their
Thank you, Wendy. After all the she did, now you gonna get up and walk away?
Okay, so obviously, we announced that we were going to go live, and originally Gordon wanted to come in here, and he just wanted to have the opportunity to share with you all and touch base on a lot of things that are just confusing, and we get it. We don't want y'all confused. We love y'all, and it's really important for everybody that everybody has the opportunity to share how they feel about things. And it doesn't always have to be like a negative thing, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to say hi to everybody, and we're gonna keep it like real. There's no agenda, y'all. No agenda whatsoever. I have questions that you guys have all messaged me. We obviously can't get to all of them, but we will address like the most common ones that a lot of you asked, and so I think that that's important as well.
Is this when I say hi?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. This is a historic moment. This is my first time doing this. I have no idea what I'm doing. But what I promise you is that I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be engaged, and I'll give you the best I got.
Okay. All right. So, do you want to, is there anything that you want to address? I know that you did want to come to the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And
correct.
Yeah.
Truth.
And I honestly probably was the main reason why you didn't come. Like I was moving into a space of really trying to protect our household and our family, and I just didn't feel like, I felt like I could handle it on my own, right? But
typical of you.
But I think
it's true.
I think it's important to know that you actually did want to come.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of things that you wanted to share. There are a lot of things that you felt were not necessarily portrayed to the best of who we are as an individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to say anything before?
I guess I do now, since you put me on the spot. Sure. Well, I think all of you understand that on a platform like this, there's a lot of material generated. And then there's editing that takes place. And I want you to be clear, I have no issues with editing. They're doing what they need to do to condense things down to a 42 to 45-minute show. Get it, understand, no issues. But there's also some backstories that go along that maybe do not get portrayed in that editing. And I get that as well. So I wanted to come to the reunion to give an opportunity to add to some of that backstory. And since that didn't happen, I thought this would be a good opportunity to do something. And truth be told, I had spoken to Mia a month or two ago, maybe a month or so ago, that we should probably do something like this, just to have a conversation with and in front of you all to dwell more into some truths and dispel some misunderstandings and some myths. So here we are. So, you want to fire away?
Yeah. So I think that, do you want to talk about, I don't know, like, how do you feel? I feel like when I'm watching back, I feel like it's being portrayed that maybe we're not, it's at question as to whether or not I'm a good mother or a good business person or a good friend. And quite frankly, these are all the things that I feel like in our world, I'm always praised about. So to watch it on a national platform of the top 3 things that I hold dear to my heart at high level of integrity, to just see that kind of being misconstrued, I know that it's like, how did I get there? So I don't know, like, is there anything that you want to say to attest to any of that? And I want you to keep it honest and keep it real.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't know who's out there, but some of you who know me, I only know honesty. I am a lousy liar. I learned that from a very young age. Even my mother said, boy, you're a lousy liar. I can't have that poker face, so anything I say is the truth as I see it. Obviously, there's always room for varying opinions, and most of you know that 2 or 3 people can look at the very same situation and come away with 2 or 3 different perspectives. So what I'm going to tell you is the truth from my perspective. And you mentioned a lot, but let me see if I can recap them. Let me start with the most important part first. And that's the kids. There is no doubt that you are a great mother. Now, when I talked about that, I was in a state of being angry, feeling disenfranchised, feeling like my kids were being taken from me, feeling like my world was being ripped apart, feeling like I was being cast aside.
Yeah.
So there was some anger, there was some emotion involved in that. And also at the time, Mia is a hard worker. She had a lot going on. We were in film season. Not only is that extremely demanding and ever changing from a scheduling standpoint, but she was also doing speaking engagements. She was doing collabs with, what's the word I'm looking for? The companies.
Yeah, just don't name them.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. She had a lot going on. So I used that to say she wasn't spending a lot of time with the kids. But in reality, she wasn't. But it wasn't because she didn't love her kids or they didn't love her. It was because she was working. She was doing a lot of things, and quite frankly, I don't quite understand how she gets. You know what? I do understand how she gets done what she does. When we were living together, her style was get everyone in bed, get everyone situated for the night, and then she would be on her computer working from about 10 p.m. until literally 3 or 4, and sometimes until the sun came up. So that's how she would get it done during those quiet moments. So as a mother, look, I couldn't ask for a better mother for my kids. The kids are well adjusted. They are great kids. If every parent says their kids are great kids, but we really mean it. Our kids are absolutely phenomenal. And one of the things that I often think about is each of our individual strengths. And we are kind of opposite, but at the same time, you put the two together, we make a phenomenal person, so to speak. And in one of my moments of clarity, I began to understand if we could create an environment where the kids could get the best of both of us, watch out the rest of the world, they would be absolutely awesome. And that's one of the things that drives, I'll just jump to it, that really drives, from my perspective, how I personally am working for our relationship to evolve to in the future. Mm-hmm. And Neil's already been there. It took me a moment to catch up. And so I filed for divorce back in November. I think it was early November, mid-November or so, just before her birthday. I'm a nice guy, just before her birthday. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. And then we had a temporary custody order, which I felt really comfortable with. And one of my anxious moments was, with all of this being an open canvas, could Mia leave and take the kids from me? Could she do things that I don't support or agree with? Could she do things without getting my input? But once the emergency custody order came through, and it cleared and put guardrails on both of us in terms of our behaviors with the kids, it was like someone letting the air out of a balloon. All of a sudden, my emotional level went all the way down, and I was then able to have clarity on the situation. And one of the things I did, and Mia's never heard this, I sat down on more than 5 occasions and created 2 lists. A list for getting divorced, a list against getting divorced. And every time I did that, the top 2 things that were consistently on their list as must-have is 1, what's in the best interest of the kids. Yeah. And number 2 was legacy. Yeah. And then as I started thinking about those things, and now remember my emotional level is down and my cerebral level, if that's a word, is elevated. And I started thinking through this. I'm a scientist, by the way, a math major, so I think in terms of logic and linear thinking, etc. I started thinking, okay, if that is the case, G, what are you going to do? What you going to do? And I made the conscious decision that said, no matter what goes on, number 1 is the kids. So I, in effect, February 3rd or 4th, I think was the date, I stopped the divorce proceedings on my own. Mia didn't ask me to. I stopped him because I started thinking, okay, if we're going to reach a point of what's important for the kids, then what's really important is for she and I to have a good relationship. Number one. Number two, for us to be in a position to show and give the kids the best of what we want to have to offer. And number three, show them a loving, compassionate, calm, so to speak, household and relationship between their mom and dad. And when I started thinking about all those things, I'm going, okay, I want to pause this legal situation to allow the temperature to drop down for both of us. Could we have gone through this? This is my thinking. Mia can weigh in whatever she wants to say. But could we have gone through the divorce without this thinking? Absolutely. But would it have generated the exact result that's best for the kids? In my thinking, absolutely not. So if we could take this down to a point where we're thinking about what's best for the kids, give this thing time for she and I to develop and find a leveling of our relationship that supports kids, our kids, having the best environment possible and legacy. And I didn't want divorce proceedings to interfere with that. Now you may ask, does that mean we're getting back together and getting divorced? No, the answer is we are getting a divorce. In fact, she and I talked about it the other day, and I told her, look, you should file whenever you're ready. I have in my mind what I'm trying to achieve before filing, so I could refile. That's really not an issue. We've actually already agreed on the big things. Mm-hmm. And she could, I told her, you can file whenever you want. I love Mia. She's a great person. There are reasons why I love her. And there's reasons why I will always love her. She's given me two great and beautiful kids. Yeah. And, my intention, desire, wishes, and wants right now is not to get back together. And I think she feels the same way. So we have to set all that aside and say, okay, if that indeed is a fact, how do we exist in a way that works? Having dinners together, seeing the going out to the park together with the kids, going to ice skating together, going on vacation together. Some people may think that's crazy, but we are now able to do that.
I don't think it's crazy. I think that
I said some people do. I didn't say you do.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I feel like when it comes to parenting and different parenting styles, we live in a world where there's no right or wrong to this. We're all doing the best that we know how. One size doesn't fit all. And what works for us works for us. And it works for us for my children to be able to see, just to be poured love into. You know, I touched on, my ex-husband and you, which is my ex-husband is my oldest child's father. You guys have such a great relationship. You guys, have always gotten along. You guys have
not always, but we got there.
Well, when did you guys not get along, Gordon?
Early in the beginning.
Before he met you. But once he met you, you guys have been great since. He just didn't know you.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You guys had to have a sit down.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
You guys got together, you sat down, and after that sit down, you guys have always gotten along.
Well, and one of the things I did was let him know for sure, look, you're Joshua's father.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I am in his life to be a role model and support you and him.
Yeah.
So whatever you need me to do, let me know.
Yeah.
And after that,
you guys,
we've been good.
And so when it comes to holidays and birthdays and everything else, Joshua has grown up and he's soon to be 17 years old, and he's such a phenomenal child because all he knows is love. No one's ever showed him anything else. And so
Joshua calls me from time to time to say hi, how you doing, Daddy G?
He's crazy about his dad G. So, and I think
and he's crazy about his dad too, and his mom.
Yes. But, and I think that that's a really beautiful thing, and I think that we need more of that in today's society. And I feel like being able to go on vacations and, being able to co-parent, if everybody has that emotional intelligence and that emotional maturity to be able to do that, it really does work out better for the kids. I will never disagree with that.
Truth.
I think a lot of times it's us that we have to put aside our own discomfort. It's uncomfortable. I remember inviting your ex-wives to our homes.
God, was I pissed.
He hated it. I was always inviting the ex-wives, and I will never forget to this day, and I don't really like to speak on them so much because they're just all so phenomenal, and I don't want them to get torn, folded into the mix. But I'll never forget when your mom passed away, and Jeremiah was maybe 8 months old.
9 months, yeah.
And he got a little antsy at the service. And I'll never forget, your ex-wife said, come give me that baby. Let me take the baby out of the congregation so you can be there for your husband. And I thought that was the most powerful, profound time of like, okay, we're doing something right here, you know? And you had the most wives at that funeral.
Oh, hush. Okay, I won the contest.
All four.
I won. I finally won something.
I was like, I can't.
You just had to bring that up.
I'm just saying, you know, since we're talking about it. But, you know.
The next one, too.
Boy. Y'all pray for me. So.
Just saying.
I just think that, you know, I think it's really important to understand the mindset of who, you know, I am as a mother and how I feel like the more love, the merrier. I also think that it's really important to just discuss, like, you know, you are so entitled to how you feel. Like, I really I'm happy that you are here, and I'm happy that you wanted to do this, because I think emotions and being able to express yourself is healing.
It takes a moment, too, to get there.
And the number one comment that I get from people, like, out and about is, how's Gordon doing? Like, how's his health? How's he feeling? And I also want to go back to, you know, this has been something you've been battling with since 2 years into our marriage, you guys. We had been married for 2 years, and the family finally shared with me what was going on.
That was craziest. You know what?
I just didn't know what was happening. And I remember saying, well, why didn't you guys tell me sooner? I can navigate this. Like, and like, it's all good. Like, I got you.
They needed someone else for me to mess with other than them. That's why they didn't tell you. Took the heat off of them.
Yeah. So I think it's really important too. I think another misconception that a lot of people think is that, like, I married you for money. That the only reason why I'm with you is for your money. And I think it's important to say that if that was the case, I would have left you right after we got married, because you had gone through a really hard financial hardship. But I decided to soldier up and leverage all of our resources and our assets. And I worked my ass off, excuse my language, day in and day out. We sold assets, we built assets, we leveraged contacts, we found investors, we built a brand, you know, and that's why it's so hard to be able to see anyone ever question, like, my integrity as a woman. And obviously, like, you know, it's never mainstream for me to ever say, oh, my husband's broke, right? But I think it's important to, like, navigate into it. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like, tell me, like, speak on that.
Okay, so there's two things that I'd like to say. One is a question that I didn't answer of the three you asked. Now, you know, I could write a book about each of those three questions. And we don't have, how much time do we have?
It's your world.
We can go like to midnight?
No, I gotta go to bed.
Okay, 11:30.
No,
all right.
Got like
well,
30 minutes.
allow me to get to at least two of them.
Okay, go
one
ahead.
that you just mentioned, and then the other one that you mentioned early on.
Go ahead.
Because I think number one, that there are two different there was one misconception, one reality, and I think they need to be talked about. So let me talk first about why I first admired you and then eventually fell in love with you. When we first met, and you know my routine, I sit and I like listen to people's story, right?
Yeah.
I want to hear what's going on in your life, yada, yada, yada. I'll tell you all this kind of offline, and I won't get into it any more deeply. One of the personal goals I had was to help make 20 millionaires in my lifetime. Okay? Not give them $1 million, but help them, give them the knowledge, teach them how to fish to get to the point of being a millionaire. And I like taking on, projects. I'm using the word projects, but not that. It's people that I want to help that seems interested enough to listen to what I got to say. But one of the things...
you know, you actually said that to me in the beginning, and I actually was like, oh, okay.
I did?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah, you told me that you were taking me on as a project.
I used that word project? Okay, well, she was a project. I didn't know I said that, but okay.
You did.
So there's a few things that I've.
But honestly, I saw it as, well, teach me what you know, because I know what I know. I want to know what you know.
Right.
And you obviously have a couple more years, just a few, on me.
Y'all know she don't count too good.
and you have obviously been in circles and been in rooms and accomplished a lot, and had done enough in your life where I was like, I kind of want to know how you did it, and I want to know the tools.
So it wasn't my good looks and my hair?
Boy, you had no hair, honey. Put this back on. Okay.
God, does that hurt?
That came later. Go ahead.
Okay. So let me just tell you this, because this is a side of Nia that I don't think you'll ever see, but I'm telling you, this is factual. When I first met Nia, you were 18, maybe 19? And as we talked, I started to understand her as a person. This was a time in her life where her mother was going through some tough things and really couldn't spend the kind of time she wanted with her kids. Mia also had 2 younger brothers and sisters, twins, who I believe was maybe 9 or 10 at the time. She had an older brother who himself is a great guy, but he was having some tough times, as many of us do from time to time. And she was also going to school full time. And it impressed me that Mia stepped up to be the person to help support her family emotionally, spiritually, and financially. She worked 2 jobs. It was 2 jobs at the time, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she worked 2 jobs at the time. She would drive from Charlotte to Maryland, pick up her 2 younger siblings, the twins, the same day drive back to Charlotte, have them spend time with her, buy them clothes, take them to amusement parks, just make sure they had a good time, buy them their school supplies, etc. She would send money to her mother. Actually, you gave your mother a debit.
Lying?
No.
Why are you?
Well, it's emotion. It's good stuff. You gave your mother
A good daughter would do.
Okay, but it impressed me that you were so diligent and responsible at 18 or 19 years old.
Okay, go ahead.
That impressed me. The other thing is the fact that she was going to school and working 2 jobs, one of them until 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and she didn't have a reliable vehicle, so you folks probably already know this. I co-signed for her to get a reliable vehicle, but she made the payments.
I made the payments.
Oh, once or twice. She was late once or twice. I had to call her up, the girl.
But I was paying my own car note for the record.
She paid the car note.
Okay, you did not purchase my car.
And hard work, persistence, and loyalty to a cause touches my heart. That was the first thing that got me interested in her. And then we didn't see each other for, I don't know, 2, 3 or 4 years or something like that. And then the next time I saw her, she was a full-grown lady.
I had blossomed.
She had blossomed. And I saw him going, But, really not that. But then, I don't know, for some reason, I told her in the past, it was really kind of one of those magical moments where all of a sudden, out of the blue, you see someone that you haven't seen for a while and you feel something. And that's when we kind of reconnected. And then beyond that, all the other qualities that she showed me, compassion for people, her spirit, her desire to help other people be successful. And then she has some qualities that led into her being a great business partner and a great business person. And let me sum it up by saying, even though we're getting a divorce, I wouldn't hesitate for one moment going into business with Mia. That's how much I believe in her skill set, how much I believe in her ability to lead a team and help grow a company. And our strengths really kind of balance each other out. Yeah. She is very much culture driven. She understands the soft sides of the business and people. And she's a great leader because people want to follow her. I ain't never seen anything like it. Even the lowest level employees, they would listen to her more than me, which was okay because she helped make us a lot of money. Yeah. And then she was brilliant at marketing. In fact, she got the Worldwide Marketing Award for the franchise or the franchise that we were a part of, which was actually, I can even say, was understated in terms of her contributions to our company, because not only was she great at marketing, she was also great at culture, as I've also mentioned. She was great at understanding where the business was and where it needed to go. But she was also extremely great at understanding people. And there's a couple of times where she said a couple of things to me that I wish I had listened to, like, this person is not meant to be on this team. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. She was right. She was absolutely right.
I've saved a lot of people's jobs.
And she did that. She saved the job of who turned out to be one of our top 3 executives in the company.
Yeah.
She saved, I walked in.
Fired.
Oh, he was fired. Oh, he was gone. He was fired. And Neil said, no, you need to rethink this. Mm-hmm. This guy has this, and this. And I'm going, okay, if you believe in him, I'll roll with you on this one. She was right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
So do you want to touch on like how you're feeling? So a lot of times, like, and a lot of the questions that I have, people are asking, like, how's your health? How are you feeling? You came out last year. You shared your diagnosis. Mm-hmm. I'm very proud of you for doing that, actually. You know, I was against it, but I also am in a position where I'm trying not to, like, tell you what to do.
Finally. There's a God
you are
somewhere.
no longer my responsibility. This is why we're getting a divorce, okay? Good luck, next girl. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, and I'm proud of you. But, you know, how are you feeling? What do you feel like is next for Gordon? Do you feel like you have inspired individuals? Do you feel like you need to do more? Like how are you feeling about that? And how also, too, like, do you feel like your health has anything negatively to contribute to my platform?
Which one of your platforms?
The one that everybody knows. Our health, obviously.
So, how's my health? Physically, I couldn't feel better. As I said before, I'm 84. I don't have an ache in my body. Got some guns.
Yeah,
I work out 3 or 4 days a week. I have a personal trainer. He thinks I'm 55, so he keeps giving me extra weight and extra running time. And I'm telling him, look, man, don't be doing that. I'm 84. So actually, I'm 72. But since Mia can't count, in any event, physically, I'm doing well. You know, I came out on the reunion last year. No, 2 years ago. What was it, last year? Because there's a reunion going on right now, right? So not this one, the one prior. Yeah. I get TV time and real time a little mixed up. Hence my illness. But in any event, bipolar is without a doubt the toughest thing I've ever gone through in my life. On a number of different levels. The first level is you don't know you have it. And then once you start thinking maybe you have it, then you get to the point of really owning it. And it takes a moment to really own it, because you can say, okay, I got it. You know, a little medication here and there and no big deal. And then you get to the level of, okay, not only owning it, but then ready to go inside and say, okay, let me really understand this and why certain things happen and why they repeat themselves. And what you have to do about it. And for me, the last 3 years, I guess, has been a really tough journey, because that's when I started to recognize and not only see the effect in my business life, some of my personal relationships, but also in my marriage. And it took a while for me to understand not only what was happening, but how it was happening. And let me jump ahead, because I could talk about this all day. Hell, I could talk about it all week, because there's so many levels to this thing. What I had to come to grips with were what were the things that were triggers that would cause me to go off the rails. And that's a hard thing to look at yourself and understand and be honest with yourself to say, what are the things that are causing it? What are the behaviors that lead up to mania, and then also accelerating the mania? And it took me a while, and quite frankly, folks, I would tell you, I am still learning different triggers at least once or twice a month. Early on, I knew the top 2 or 3. And then when I could feel myself heading to mania because of one of those top 2 or 3, then I had to learn how to self-govern and self-correct. So as I sit here today, I would say that I am extremely proud of myself as to how I've managed through this and continue to manage through this. It's important for you all, thank you, it's important for you all to know that this thing never goes away. There's no cure. There's only managing it. And then there are a lot of lonely moments. Sometimes the things you do to self-correct, nobody else noticed because you corrected it before they would notice. So sometimes you have to take a step back and say, boy, I actually did good. I'm proud of myself. And then the other part that's really kind of interesting and hard is to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
To say, you know what? The past is the past. And in order for you to move forward, you got to put the past behind you. You got to put it behind you. And if you're focusing on the past, it makes it more difficult to focus on the present and the future. One of my brothers who is, I love all my brothers and sisters, but one who is a great pastor said to me, you can't unscramble an egg. And I thought about that. I'm going, you know what? He's right. What's done is done. What you control is how you manage the future. And that's what I've chosen to focus on. And I try and separate myself from people who keep dragging me back to the past. Well, you used to, you did this, you did that. I can't go back. I have to keep looking forward. And, I think that's been my greatest victory, to understand that. And the second greatest victory is understanding the triggers, accepting them, and then being able to govern myself accordingly after that. Have I gone over my time?
It's okay. I know you need to get out. So I will, to segue into one of the questions here, I was reading all the many questions. There's so many, y'all. Like, I love y'all. It says the narrative where Mia appears to look like the liar to her peers and viewers of the show. Can you address that?
Well, Mia is not a liar. Does she exaggerate, embellish? Yeah, but hell, we all do that. I do it. I hope you recognize that you all do it, but we all do that. And we also see truth from our perspective. One thing I fully know is that you can get a half dozen people looking at the same situation, and you're going to get 6 versions of it. So what one person may think is the truth, like the telephone game, what one person sees as the truth, another person may see that same thing as a lie. Mm-hmm. So you have to be careful with truth and reality. The reality is Mia's a great person. She strives to do well by people. She strives to raise everyone's, what's the word I'm looking for? Station, so to speak.
Add value.
Add value. And as I said before, people follow her. Now, if she was truly a liar, people wouldn't follow her because they wouldn't believe in what she's doing. But people follow her, so she's not a liar. Does she exaggerate? Yeah. Is she forgetful sometimes? Yes, all of us are. I forget. I didn't want to say it that way, but you see, well, I'm not going to say it, but I wasn't going to talk about her hair color.
I mean, there's so much. You know how it's like the iPhone, when you have too much storage, it starts deleting stuff? Yeah, that's just pretty much how it'd be going for me. And maybe, I'm praying a lot and really trying to ask God, like, I don't have to do it all, right? So what areas of life do I really need to be focusing my attention into so I can be really intentional and I can really go up 100%? Because, when you start diluting yourself and you're trying to carry 20 different hats, you're not going to be as productive as if you're focusing on that one thing. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that in hindsight, especially like this season, I'm like, Mia, you were juggling a lot, and a lot of the things. Of
course, I was not one of those things.
You were one of those things. You were one of those things.
Maybe 5 of them.
You said it, not me.
I'm from the house of truth.
And I think that, that's a message all in itself, because I feel like a lot of times we as women feel like we need to be super women and we need to not say no. Ladies, 2025, we are learning how to say no. I am finally in a position where I'm like, you know what? This no longer serves me. I'm like, I just can't do it. I can't do it all. Thank you, God, for the blessing, but I have to like really be intentional on my purpose and my passion and my future and what's best for like the long game, not short term gratification. Like, where are we moving in a long term rim? And is this for my better good? You know, and that's really like where I finally arrived in that space, and it feels good to be there because I'm gonna tell you, like, the dilution is not working. It's not working at all. So thank you for addressing that. So there's another question I know I wanted to get to a couple of them. So it says, so you've already addressed your bipolar. A lot of people wanted to know if you really have bipolar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got it. Own it. Got it.
That's not funny.
I'm good at it, too. Real good at it.
And, you know, I really do think that you should start, like, discussing and being there for other individuals who may have diagnosed bipolar, and then how, like, share, like, your tools.
I mean, if there's an interest in it, I have no problems doing it to help other people understand the journey. To understand the journey, absolutely.
Yeah. We talked about the children, obviously, you know, thank you for validating that, but I know I'm a good mama. I know I'm like, that's something that I take.
No argument here.
Right, okay. And we talk,
That's a lot of questions.
Tons.
We need a part 3, 4, 7.
No, we
10.
don't. No, we don't. This is a lot. You taking up this is my working hours, okay? I'm supposed to be, you know, doing the things. And that's another thing, you know, guys, I do wish that I can get to a position where I can really show y'all the investor side of me and how I collab with some really phenomenal female founders and really leveraging our platform to raise awareness around causes that I'm involved in, and, you know, just being more passion driven. I think that it's really important, not only for me, but, you know, for our neighbors and for the children and for,
So let me capsulize what she just said by saying that a couple of her acquaintances summed it up this way: Mia, whatever you're investing in, we're in. And there's no greater testament than that people want to follow you, they want to be a part of what you're doing.
And
people don't sign up with losers. They don't sign up with losers, okay? Think about that.
Oh, well, no, because I make
Well, they don't sign up with losers, exactly. Right.
I made you a lot of money, huh? No?
Sure.
No?
You gonna do it again?
You want me to do it again?
Yeah.
You're
the past don't count. Remember, I'm
work.
focused on the present and the future, not the past.
You're a piece of work.
Ew. Like JK, but like maybe not. But thank you for watching. But you hating ass bitches always have something to say. Hating ass bitch, but you're still watching my vids. What? You're so upset. But that's like okay, because have a piece of bread, have a Xanax, relax, because I said what I said.